I'm back. Rhodes Rants on Star Wars. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Join the Rhodes Squadron. Today, let's talk about Mark Hamill and the character of Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill tweeted out a photo, and it was a picture of him and Harrison Ford embracing. I am pretty sure that this is from Mark Hamill's Walk of Fame star that he got, if I remember correctly. And Mark Hamill said what a Han/Luke reunion might have been like. And then a good friend of the show, or the channel, John Matrix, made a video earlier talking about Mark Hamill's role as possibly being a cameo. So I wanted to do a little digging and have found actually multiple media outlets, including Screen Rant, that may have also sort of backed this claim. I did an article the other day, a video, in regards to Mark Hamill and him sort of unloading on Disney and their treatment of Luke and the older characters. And if you really decipher his comments as you get to looking, while it is not full-blown confirmation, he does make a comment in there that's very interesting. Because as far as I'm concerned, the end of 8 is really the beginning, or the end of 7 is really the beginning of 8. I got one movie. They totally hornswoggled me, tricked him. He signed a 3-movie contract, and it was not for cameo role. So, and that also is by way of Screen Rant, by the way. So what do we think about this Rhodes Squadron? What I will tell you is, my belief is, if this in fact actually comes true, and Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker only has a cameo involvement in this movie, it could be disastrous for this franchise. I know that JJ's got creative control over this, whereas he did not for The Force Awakens. One of the narratives that Kathleen Kennedy gave him was not to overshadow the new characters with the original characters. Well, she is not involved in that capacity. Carrie Hart is gone. So, this leads me to believe that if J.J. Abrams, and you guys know I have supported J.J. in the past, but if he does not have the foresight enough to give Mark Hamill any more than a 3 or 4 minute role in this movie, it's going to be a disaster. The word of mouth is going to be a disaster. Fans want and demand significant involvement from Luke Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 9, and they should. It has been obvious the fan base is irate over Luke Skywalker. The treatment of Luke's character in The Last Jedi has been the number one factor, political agendas aside, the number one factor in wrecking the fan base right now. Number 2, possibly the fact that Rey is just being handed the Jedi mantle on a silver platter with no real, trials or tribulations to go through. That's probably the second worst thing in the trilogy. But if Luke Skywalker truly only gets a small role, we're talking 3, 4, 5 minutes, the movie's going to get murdered by fans. Murdered. And as well it should get murdered by fans. I will be highly disappointed in Lucasfilm. I already am, but I will be highly disappointed in the fact that possibly they haven't learned anything. 3 or 4 months ago, I had heard that he had as much as 45 minutes to an hour in this movie. And I don't care if he does show up at the end for 3 or 4 minutes and he even comes back back to life. That is not enough of an involvement in this movie. Luke Skywalker and Mark Hamill needs to have a significant involvement in this movie. He needs to be present in many multiple Force Ghost scenes. He needs to be present in flashbacks, which now his tweets lead me to believe that the flashbacks involving Han, Luke, and Leia may have now been scrapped in this film. Or he has gotten word that they will be scrapped in this movie. This will just be more juice for this franchise to go down the tubes. I think what we're going to find out here is, unfortunately, the original trilogy, and of course we've seen this, and a lot of people have said, well, this is what's really happening. I think the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, for the most part, those characters, it's over. And that's sad to say. Do I think Lando and Chewie will die in this movie? No, I really do not. But we've heard that Galaxy's Edge will have no references to Luke, Han, and Leia. This is such a massive failure and such a middle finger towards the specific fan base that helped build Star Wars. The people that watched the films from 77 through 83. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening here. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Join the Road Squadron. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
They can't breathe, can't sleep, can't eat. The reason why words surge back and toting heat. I'd rather ride by myself, fuck rolling deep, so I could